Hello, my dear friends, it's Yuri Tvetkov. Thanks a lot for your views of my first video about the GORKI Golf Resort, about the GORKI Golf Resort golf course, about first nine holes. We have analyzed the Yardage book. So currently I'm making the second one, but before we will starting to see our golf course, I just want to talk you some words about the GORKI Golf Resort as a tourism destination. I need to say that certainly it's understandable that current situation is not so useful for that, but from the other side, I hope that this video will have a long life, and in this connection maybe later this year or maybe next year, and even maybe later you can find it and you can receive information about the GORKI Golf Resort. And I need to say that the GORKI is very competitive because the hotel is very new. You can see the Eco Hotel over there. It's 4-star hotel. Plus that Russia become very competitive currently because you see that in St. Petersburg area we have the user-free electronic visa. So the information about it you can find on this site of the GORKI Golf Resort. I will stay you certainly the link for this site. And I need to say that the strategy of the golf course was exactly for the international tourism development, because here in Russia we have not so many active golfers who are playing regularly. And this connection here in St. Petersburg area we have approximately 1,000, maybe 1,500 golfers only, but it's highly useful for the international tourists, international golfers, because you have not strong competitions, you have not the problems with the timing, with the tempo of the game, and so on. Plus that we have unlimited green fee. In this connection, when you're buying the green fee, you can play all over the day. Plus in the summertime we have, you see that currently, for example, the morning is becoming maybe approximately 4 o'clock, and the darkness is coming just after maybe 10 o'clock. And this connection, if you are taking the green fee for all the day, you can certainly, for example, in the morning you're playing around walking. We have not restrictions. We have the cars. You can rent the car, the buggy, but you need not to do it. It's your choice. So some tourists are playing with the buggies in the morning or in the evening, and vice versa. And in this connection, sometimes they are playing approximately 27 or maybe even 36 holes. So it's highly useful. So now we will try to see where you will play. So we have finished on the 9th hole, which is coming to the clubhouse exactly, and the 10th hole is starting near from the hotel. It's a par 5, the same situation as on the first 9. In this connection, I think that as for me, it's quite comfortable to start to play from the par 5 exactly for par 5 holes. So when some of groups are starting from the 10 tees and the first and the other groups are starting from the first tee flights, you see that you are nobody have advantage. So this hole we are looking mostly for the yellow tee boxes as are used for the most of the amateur players, and the red ones which are used mostly for ladies. So it seems that for the first driving from the first tee, from the 10th tee, you see that it seems that we have a very good, transition area. But exactly in the middle of this transition area is a bunker, and this bunker quite oftenly involved in the game. Most of the players who have handicap more than 10, the half buggy players, have not so huge distances to avoid these hazards, and this connection quite oftenly we have the situation when the ball is going in the direction of this bunker. This connection only if you have the distance, the carry distance more than 215 meters. Here is the distances in the meters I need to say about it again. So if you have the carry distance more than 230 to 140 meters, yards, excuse me, you will avoid bunker with the guarantee. This connection you can play just before bunker or over the bunker. So if you avoid the bunker, the strategy of playing this hole, as for me, I have the handicap approximately 12, maybe a little bit better, because I'm not so oftenly playing exactly 18 holes. So usually I am staying somewhere in this position, or if I have a good wind, somewhere after the bunker. And from this position is also useful to play with the 3 woods, for example. If you are playing with this club, you know that you have good statistics with this club, and usually the ball is staying approximately on the distance from the other side. By the way, you can play with iron here from here, because you see that if you will play with the 3 woods, you need to have better direction, because the transition zone will be somewhere in the 50 meters from the front of the green, and on this distance we have quite a lot of hazards. And this connection, you see that this area is easy green. It's natives, and they are what the most difficult hazards on here on the course, because it's absolutely difficult to play from there. The bunkers, I think that probability to play normal stroke from the bunker is maybe 50 or 50, maybe 75% more than to play from the natives. You have just a small hazard, which is also the native area, which is not so dramatical as the big natives area, but you can lose approximately half of stroke if you go there at average. And this connection you can play with the iron, which will be not risky strategy, and next stroke you will make you will attack the green by the short stroke, by a regular stroke for par 5 from 100 meters, for example. So it will be easy stroke for you. Or you can play from the second stroke, much more risky, and try to play closer to the green. But in this situation, you have the probability to be on the bunkers of the left and the right, or in the natives even. And this connection, it's your choice. Usually, I prefer to be a little bit safety. On all the course, it's quite useful if you have the good strokes from the distance, approximately 120 meters to the front of the green. But it's mean that you need to take the club to play for the center of the green, and usually it's 2 clubs more. Because you see that the distance to the middle of the green in this hole will be just 10 meters from the front of the green. It's quite a small, quite a short hole, quite a short green. But on the other greens we have for them a little bit more bigger sizes, and this connection you see that usual distance from the front to the center is approximately 15 or even more meters. So it's I need to say that it's not easy hole because for example in the springtime right now, for example, the winds are usually you need to play against the wind, and this connection, these distances are becoming shorter because the speed of the wind sometimes is 10 meters in seconds or something like this, or 10 kilometers. Yes, 10 meters in second. So 11th hole. It's quite a long, not longest, but second by the distance par 3 hole, but it's you're playing from the hill. Our course is not so hilly. GORKI Golf Resort is not so hilly, but on this hole, it's you can feel it. And this connection, the green is not so big, but it's approximately 30 meters long, so quite big. In this connection, this difference between this center of the green and the front of the green is approximately 1 or 2 clubs, and you need also to think about it. As you can see, the distances on the tee boxes are in meters, but to the center of the green. But the distances from the markers on the golf course, for example, from 200, 150, and 100 meters to the front of the green. In these connections, you can see that here it's such difference in distances, that the distance is 176 meters, approximately 200 yards to the center of the green, and just 162 meters to the front of the green. The hazard from the right side is oftenly coming in the game if you up your head during the stroke, and if you have something like the slice, even if it's a small slice. So this hazard is very important. But usually you can play this course normally. So the 12th hole is not so long par 4, but maybe one of the 5 longest par 4s, because it's 360 meters, it's approximately 400 yards. Excuse me. So the green, what happened? The green is not so big, it's just 26 meters long. Here unfortunately is making mistakes, the marker must be a little bit upper. For the first stroke, you usually have not so much hazards, but if you have the tendency to the slice, usually the ball can go to the next tee, for the 16th hole, which is going in approximately in direction forward to you. But usually if the ball is coming in the small natives, so you must be very attentive about it, and maybe it's better to play not on the center of the fairway, but a little bit left of the fairway. Again, it depends from your distance, but you know that it's quite windy, and if the weather is windy, usually you are not overheating your average distance, but underheating. And this connection in the springtime, for example, it's not so easy to play this hole in 2 regular stroke if you are playing, as me playing with the 3-wood and making both strokes with the 3-wood. So it seems that 400 yards is not so big distance, but sometimes in reality it's not so easy to play such holes. So in this connection, the second stroke on the green will be very limited, and you need also to understand that after the green you need not to overheat the green, because you know that it's small space after the green, and it's quite a dangerous natives, and it's not so big native area. If you will make a very strong stroke, it can go to the wood, which are OB for this course. So the sorting hole is shorter. It's also par 4. It's 327 meters or 360 yards. So what we have here, again we have the small bunker in the center of the fairway. It seems that in the transition area for the average golfers, and it seems that it's maybe the strategy of the architect to build such hazards, because it's a second hole where we have such a situation, and it's quite interesting. You can play. As for me, it's a little bit better to if your ball will stay in the position on the before bunker, or close to the bunker. But here you see that it seems that it's a little bit easy to make the stroke over the bunker than on the 10th hole, for example. So the second stroke seems not so difficult, but these hazards, this bunker, these natives are often involved in the game, and again the area around the green is quite difficult. For example, the distance between the board of the green and the natives are maybe approximately 10 or 15 meters only, so you must be very attentive for your for your second stroke, and you need to evaluate your distance, because quite often the ball can stay in the bunker, so it's better a little bit overheat than underheat. On the 14th hole, this is shortest par 5, so shortest that it's only 411 meters from the yellow tees, and it seems that this is mostly the birdie or even the eagle hole, but in reality it's not so easy. In this connection, the slope ratio is not you see that not with this distance, not the distance is not so big problem for this hole, but the small green is, because the green is quite long, but it's not wide. And this connection, you must be very attentive, and plus that the green is very hilly, and it's quite a lot of breaks and quite difficult to play it. So for the first stroke we have a lot of hazards. It's a small native area, plus the bunker, and plus again the small native area. But they are even closer to the tee boxes, and this connection, the distance for the far side of the bunker is 176, so it's enough space for even for the average players to make the strokes with the carry more than 185. You will have not problems on this hole, because you see that here we have the upside of the hill, and in this connection, if the ball is flying on the distance 185, it is running approximately 20 meters plus that in the normal weather on the soft fairways. But if you have carry distance more than 220 meters or approximately 45 yards, from the right side we have also the bunker and also the natives, and in this connection they called involved in the game. From the left side we have the white natives, and in this so it's necessary to build your strategy to avoid this area. The second stroke, usually you can attack the green from the second stroke, because the distance will be oftenly approximately 190 to 200 meters to the center of the green. So it's available for the second stroke, for the good stroke, but you need to know that if it will go a little bit righter, this is the high probability that the ball will fly over the board, and in this connection it's a little bit to attack the green a little bit lefter, because it's not so many hazards on the left, but you certainly need to be very attentive. So the next hole is the 15th hole. It's par 3. It's just one of the shortest par 3, but I need to say that all par 3 are mostly long, excluding one of them. So here the distance is 157. It's not so difficult hole as it seems. What happened? Oh my God. Come on. Oh, excuse me. I'm terribly sorry. So the bunker from the right side is closing the half of the green, and the ball is oftenly going there. The green is short, but it's wide, and this connection it's better to play on the left side of the green. If you will have the small mistakes, the ball will fly a little bit right in. It will be exactly on the green. If not, it will be in good area for a good chipping, close to the pin. And it also depends from the pin position. If the pin is staying in the right side and the far right side of the green, this hole becoming much more difficult than if the pin is staying on the left side. So the next hole is 16. It's as for me, it's quite difficult again. It seems that the distance only 372 meters, so it will be 410 yards. But it's mostly difficult because the green is crossed by the bunker, and plus that the green is like something the Ross greens, the famous architect who were building the greens on the upper than the fairways, and this is exactly this situation, and this connection is quite difficult to attack the green by the second stroke. So the first stroke is also not so easy because you need to find a place where to task, where the transition area, when you need to think seriously about transition area, because you see from the don't play left. If you play a little bit left, you will have a big troubles if the ball will fly the OB. It's a small dog leg, and this connection it's maybe better to play a little bit righter. It's not so often the ball is flying and running to the second native, the small native. If you will make mistake to the right and the ball will fly even more right, it will be on the second fairway. In this connection you can play from over there with not penalty. So mistake to the right, it's less valuable than mistake to the left. The second stroke, usually if you want to attack the green, you need to have the carry distance exactly to the ball will fly to the green, because if the ball will fly before the green, and if it will be carry before the green, it will not go to the green with the probability 80%. It certainly depends from the weather, but usually it will not only because the not running, because the ball is not running, but also because the ball can go to the right or to the left, because it's because the green is sitting on the hill. The next hole is 17. On the first 9, it may be one of the shortest holes because it have the distance. It's only 315 meters or 350 yards long to the center of the green. The green is long, approximately 35 or maybe even 40 meters, but for the first stroke we also have the green is closed by the front bunker, which are often involved in the game, and plus that we have the hazard of the left side, which is seriously important for those players who have the carry distance less than 190 meters. So it's mostly for most of us. So it's better to play to task. Your task must be something right here, and maybe it's better to play not exactly with the driver. It depends from your distance. So because you know that usually the ball will stay approximately 100 meters from the center of the green, and this connection from this area is not so difficult to attack the green. The green is quite big. The only need to do is to be very attentive about the clubs, because you need again to take the clubs, which will give you more carry, and the ball will fly exactly and carry exactly on the front side of the green, not before the green, because green engaged on the hill, and it's you know that it's running from the green to the mostly to the left side. The right side it's not so hilly, but left side is very hilly. And the last hole is 18. From yellow tees it's just 327 meters. So this hole, like the previous one, is it's possible to play with par, not easily but attentively, but it's quite comfortable to play in par. So it's not serious hazards before you. It's quite a wide fairway, and this connection you need to be only attentive, not up your head during the driving stroke early than it necessary. So you can stay on the fairway. Sometimes its distance will be also again maybe 110, 120 meters to the center of the green. Approximately the same strategy as on the previous hole, maybe just the little bit longer club for the second stroke for attacking the green. And again, the strategy must be that it's better to overhit the center of the green than underhit the front of the green, because the bunker from the left side is closing the green. From the right side it's not problems at all, and this connection maybe it's better to play the second stroke exactly for the right front of the green, or if you are very confident about your proximity, to play in the center of the green. So here we are. We have finished this video, and I need to say that it was 28 minutes. Maybe sometimes you can play 9 holes for the approximately very close to this timing, and I just discussed just explain you this time. So I'm sorry that the video maybe was a little bit longer than it necessary, but I hope that it will be long living video, and maybe I hope that some of you will use all what I'm talking about in the practice. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Have a good golf. I hope to see you on my channel. And I want to talk again that I have made a second channel, which is exactly calling all over the golf. And I hope you to see you on the both ones. See you. Bye bye.